Hello everyone. Welcome to your online class of SST of class 4th. Students, in my previous video I was explaining you lesson number 5. But as your unit tests are going to start from 17th August, so today in this video we will revise lesson number 1 and 2 exercises. Okay. Syllabus of your unit test is from lesson number 1 to lesson number 4. Okay. So today we will revise exercises of lesson number 1 and 2. So let's begin our today's video. So in lesson number 1, the story of the past, you studied about history, that what is history. So what is history? History is a study that enables us to know about the past of any society or nation. Okay, it is a study of people, places, events, lifestyle, language and cultures, religious beliefs and social and political order of a society. And then we studied about prehistory, that what is prehistory. Then what is prehistory? The period of study before the invention of writing, means जब तक writing का invention नहीं हुआ था उससे पहले का जो period था, that is known as prehistory. Okay, then we studied that why is a need to study history, means history पढ़ना क्यों ज़रूरी है. To know our past, अपने past के बारे में जानने के लिए ज़रूरी है. Then to know about the human culture and civilization, human culture और civilization के बारे में जानने के लिए हमें history को पढ़ना ज़रूरी है. Then third is to lead a better life, एक अच्छी life को जीने के लिए हमें history को जानना ज़रूरी है. And to know about the kings and the ordinary people, means पहले कैसे king, मतलब kings के बारे में जानना और जो ordinary people थे उनके बारे में जानना हमारे लिए history से हम वो सब जान सकते हैं उनके बारे में. Then to develop important skills and qualities. And the last one is to know about the evolution of different languages, कि कैसे different languages evolve हुई. So ये सब हमें किससे पता चल सकता है? By studying history, about history. Then need to compartmentalize history into ancient, medieval and modern period, means कैसे हमारी जो history है वो in ancient, medieval और modern periods में compartmentalize हुई. So western countries में this periodization में be as under, means 5th century तक ancient period, then 5th to 14th century medieval period, and 15th century onward the modern period begins. But in our country, on the other hand, in the Indian context, this periodization may be as under. So up to 7th century the ancient period, 8th to 17th century the medieval period, and 18th century onwards the modern period begins. Okay, so in this lesson we studied about all these things. So now we will revise the exercises. Okay, so the first exercise is multiple choice questions. So first question is, history is a study of past events, future events or present events. So as you all know by the definition of history, that is it is a study of past events. So answer is A, past events. Then second one is, prehistory is a period of time before written records, means before the invention of writing, that period is known as prehistory. Then third is, the Renaissance was the revival of art and literature in the 14th to 16th centuries. Then the modern period started in India during the 18th century. Okay. So today we will revise only the exercise part. Question answer we will revise in our next video. And now, true and false. History is a study of past events, so this is true. Then second one is, Aristotle is called the father of history, that is wrong. History is a key to know our present, yeah, this is correct. And the Renaissance period began in Africa, this is wrong because it begins in Europe. Now fill in the blanks. The word history is derived from the dash word historia, that is Greek word. Okay, so write here Greek. Then second is, dash is called the father of history. So who is he? Herodotus. Okay. Then the study of history helps us to understand the basic nature of our society, means by studying history we understand the basic nature of our society. Then fourth one is, in the medieval period, in India the medieval period is marked between 8th to 17th centuries. Okay. Now match the following. E. First one is, period before the invention of writing, that is prehistory. Inscriptions were written on pillars. History providers, chronological record, and the Renaissance begin in Europe. Okay, so this is your lesson number 1 exercises. Now what you have to do, you have to write down all the questions of these exercises, fill in the blanks, MCQs, and true false and match the following. You have to write all the questions of these exercises in your notebook, and then close the book, and then you have to write the answers by yourself, and after that you can check your answers. Okay, so you have to do this work in your SST notebook. Now second lesson, evidences in history. Sources of history means what are the sources of history. So the first sources, there are two types of sources, means archaeological sources and the literary sources. In archaeology, we study about the human history and prehistory through excavation of sites, analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. Okay, so in archaeology we study about all these about human history and his prehistory through the excavation of sites, analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. These remains may be in the form of buildings or objects like pottery, ornaments, seals, tablets, etc. Okay, and the scholars who study these remains are known as archaeologists. Okay, then archaeological sources are the most direct evidence for the study of history and prehistory. Means by the archaeological sources, they are the most direct evidence. Means ये direct evidence हैं, proofs हैं हमारे history और prehistory के को जानने में, पढ़ने के लिए, study करने के लिए. These are the original sources which cannot be tampered by human beings. ये ऐसे sources हैं जिनको human beings tamper नहीं कर सकते. Means कुछ उसमें changes नहीं कर सकते. Archaeology is the study of human history and prehistory through the excavation of sites and analysis of artifacts and other physical remains, that is ornaments, seals, pottery, etc. Then these sources, archaeological sources, includes inscriptions. Now what are inscriptions? These are the writings that are engraved on the stones and metal. Okay, then other archaeological sources are coins. You can see here coins. The study of coins is called numismatics, and coins serve as an important and reliable source of for reconstructing our past. Means हमारे past को reconstruct करने में coins का एक बहुत ही important role है, बहुत ही important source है ये हमारे लिए. Then monuments are also the archaeological sources. Okay, and artifacts are the archaeological sources. Then the second type of sources are literary sources, and literary sources include religious literature, secular literature and the accounts of foreign travelers. Okay, so through these resources we can know about our history. Okay, what are these? Religious literature, secular literature and the accounts of foreign travelers. Okay, then in this lesson we saw what is the need to preserve sources of history. Means why do we need to preserve our sources? So the historical and archaeological sources are the key to know our past. ये बहुत ही important है हमारे past को जानने के लिए. And the beginning of human existence appeared on the earth's surface 5.6 million years ago. The evidence of human fossil, stone tools and cave painting help us to understand early human history. Means इन सारे sources से ये जो evidences हैं इनसे हम अपने human history के बारे में इसको समझ सकते हैं. ओके, सो इसलिए हमारे को ज़रूरी है कि हम अपने हिस्ट्री को प्रिजर्व रखें, जो हिस्ट्री के जो सोर्सेज हैं उनको प्रिजर्व रखें. ओके, देन वी सॉ व्हाट इज़ द जॉब ऑफ अ हिस्टोरियन एंड एन archaeologist. So what is the job of an historian? A historian is an expert who writes, researches and studies about the series of past event. एक historian वो expert होता है जो लिखता है, research करता है और study करता है जो भी हमारे past events हैं उनको एक series में. A historian particularly concerned with human affairs of particular period. And what are the functions of historian? main functions of a historian are objective and scientific treatment of an evidence. Means अगर कुछ उसको evidence है मिलता है उसको तो उसका objective और scientific तरीके से उसको treat करना. Then second one is documents and other relevant material must be analyzed impartially. Documents और जो भी और दूसरे उससे related हमारे history से related कोई material है उनको ढंग से analyze करना impartially. No room for prejudiced and biased views. Means biased views ना देना, एकदम properly truthful उसके बारे में उसको review करना. Then preconceived hypothesis and assumption must be avoided. And the last one is systematic and chronological order of historical evidence and events must be followed. Means systematic तरीके से और एक sequence में historical evidence को और events को follow करना. Okay, so these are the main functions of a historian. Now the job of an archaeologist. An archaeologist studies human prehistory and history through excavation of sites, analysis of artifacts and the other physical remains. Now the main functions of archaeologists are to excavate and remove earth carefully and systematically from an area in order to find buried remains. Means कहीं पर से कुछ भी एक किसी एरिया में से जो दबे हुए रिमेन्स हैं पुराने उनको ढंग से एक तरीके से केयरफुली सिस्टमेटिकली उसको वहाँ से निकालना. देन आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट हैव डिस्कवर्ड फॉसिल फ्यूल्स ह्यूमन फॉसिल्स, स्टोन टूल्स एंड केव पेंटिंग्स. उन्होंने ये सब चीज़ें डिस्कवर की हैं एंड ऑल दीज फाइंडिंग्स हेल्प अस टू अंडरस्टैंड अर्ली ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री. और इन सब चीज़ों की हेल्प से ही मीन्स ह्यूमन फॉसिल्स की, स्टोन टूल्स की एंड केव पेंटिंग की हेल्प से ही हम अपनी पुरानी ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री के बारे में जान सकते हैं. ठीक है. So this was lesson number 2. Now the exercise part of lesson number 2. First exercise is multiple choice question. Tick the correct option. First one is, in the beginning writing was done on the leaves of palm tree. Then the study of coins is called numismatics. Third, the oldest Veda is the Rig Veda. And fourth one is, who was called the Prince of Pilgrims? That is Xuanzang. Okay. Now next exercise is true and false. First one is, in archaeology we study about the human history and prehistory. That is correct. The study of coins or collection of coins is called numismatics. That is also correct. The Arthashastra was written by Bana. That is wrong. And Faxian was a Japanese traveler. That is also wrong because he is a Chinese traveler. Now second one is inscriptions. Next exercise is fill in the blanks. First one is, inscriptions are generally engraved in stone and metal. Second, the coins of Samudragupta depict his love for the Veena. Third, any building, statue or structure is called a monument. And fourth, Megasthenes came to the court of Chandragupta. Okay. Now next exercise is match the following. First one is Ibn Battuta. Its answer is Rihala. Panani, that is Ashtadhyayi. Third, Al-Biruni, that is Kitabul Hind. And fourth one is Kalidasa, that is Abhijana Shakuntalam. Okay, so these are the exercises of lesson number 2. Now you also have the same way as you have written the exercise of, as I told you to write the exercises of lesson number 1 in notebook, the same way you have to write down first the questions of all these exercises of lesson number 2, and then after closing your book you have to write down the answer of these exercises in your SST notebook. In this video we revised exercises of lesson number 1 and 2. Now in the next video we will revise the exercise of lesson number 3 and 4 because in unit test your syllabus is from lesson number 1 to lesson number 4. So this is all for today, and lesson number 3 and 4 we will revise in our next video. Thank you.